Here's a tip of the trade. Whenever possible, when you're working on something that you've never worked on before and you're unfamiliar with its parts, bolt lengths, where things go, whatnot, I like to lay out a complete workbench with something, this time I chose cardboard, where I can label stuff. Just set the bolts here like that, parts, whatever, and right next to it, seat bolts. And then set everything up really nice, neat, and organized, and then you know where everything goes when you go back together. But here, I want to show you guys, if someone's ever doing this, I noticed there isn't very many videos on YouTube of people doing the heads on this type of bike, 650 Custom. There's a bolt on each side of the seat, here and here, yep, right there, and you take those two bolts out, and the seat slides right up out and comes off, and unveils your battery and your regulators and whatnot, and more importantly, it reveals the tank bolt. So I'm going to zip out that tank bolt and I'll show you guys that. Okay, so to remove this tank, you want to remove the tank bolt, and then the tank just slides in. It has two rubber grommets. It slides in on the frame, and then that one bolt is what holds it on. But you want to remove that tank bolt so the tank can move. And then you guys can't see, let me give you some light. You want to remove the fuel line coming off of your cock valve, and then you can remove the tank. Okay guys, I got the tank off, I got the seat off. I removed my fuel line completely from where it goes into the carburetor right here. I just took it off, get it out of my way. Next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take off these airbox side covers to open up and give me some room. This one and this one, they're held on with Phillips. Hopefully they come out. And then whoever did the carbs, where it goes from the airbox to the carbs, they just put heavy duty zip ties on it to hold it on. So I'm going to remove these zip ties here, try to push the airbox out of my way. These little rubber collars that hold in the carburetor to the airbox can actually be pushed in. They're rubber, as you can see here. See that? They're rubber. So you can actually push them into the airbox and give you a little bit more space to wrestle with this carburetor. Then I'm going to loosen these clamps and all these boots that hold in the four carbs, and I'm going to rock it up and down and try to pull it back as far as I can out of my way. I may remove these cables, these throttle cables and choke cable, and pull the carbs completely off of the bike to give myself ample room to work on the cylinder head. But if I can push these carbs back far enough to fuck with it, I might just leave the carbs where they are to save a little bit of time, but I haven't decided yet. But let me get started removing these and those and seeing what we can do here. Okay guys, these little intake boots here, they do just kind of slide right back in. You gotta pull that lip down and push them in. That gives you a lot more room to get the carburetor out. Gives you about a ½ inch here. Loosen up all those clamps. You want to rotate the carbs downward and they pop right out. Then you're gonna have a hose here that goes to the airbox that you're gonna want to remove. Oh, my eye itches. And you're gonna have another little hose right there on top of the carb, this guy, that has to get removed, as well as these cables have to be removed, which I'm going to do right now. I'm going to yank the carbs out. Okay, so the carbs are out. I marked the one cable, this one, because there's two cables in the front. I marked which one was the rear cable so I can tell the difference, and then I'll automatically know which one was the choke cable. That's not hard. I'm going to be removing my spark plug wires next, so I'm going to mark them. I don't know the exact firing order, but I'm just going to mark them 1, 2, 3, 4 straight across, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I will personally know exactly where they went. And then I have to remove this right here, which I believe is the tach. Yep, tachometer cable. And then I disconnect the breather tube and then remove the spark plug caps, and then remove the spark plugs, and then remove the covers. So that means I'm going to be removing the tachometer cable, this breather hose, these spark plug boots, and then I'm going to be removing the spark plugs, and then I'm going to be taking out this cover, and this cover. Alright, so we got some Allen heads going on there, and we got some 10 millimeters going on there, and we'll zip that off and see what we got. Over here I got the carburetors. They look pretty clean inside there, but that ain't shit because I can't see inside the float bowl. But like I said, this bike ran really fucking good, and I am not taking these carbs apart because I know they run good. I'll wait until the carbs start acting up and then I'll fuck with them. Okay guys, I got all this crapola off. I got the covers off, tack cable, breather hose, spark plug or spark wires. Didn't take the plugs out yet. The only thing I did that I didn't tell you guys was I dropped the exhaust. There's two 10 millimeters holding in each pipe, and then there's a 13 millimeter on each side that holds the back of the pipe on. You just pull the collars off, and then you have collars here. Mine are actually pretty deteriorated. I should have anticipated that and bought new ones, but I didn't. So we're going to put it back together with this old ones, and then we're going to order some new ones on eBay because these are relatively cheap. And then you just pull the exhaust down. That side came off easy. This side has the kickstand here kind of holding it up. So I just left these pipes on because they're out of my way. Probably could have left the other side on too, but I took it off. I didn't realize that these black pieces just slide into the pipe. So now, next, according to the directions here, we got loosen the cylinder head cover bolts evenly and remove the cylinder head cover. Remove the bolts in 2 to 3 steps in a crisscross pattern to prevent warpage. And right there is a diagram of the bolts. All the ones that are circled are the ones that you're supposed to be removing. So let's get to it. I think they are, let's see, they look to be 8 millimeter. Let's see, I got an 8 millimeter right here. Yes, 8 millimeter for the cylinder head cover bolts. Yes, sir. Okay, guys, got the cylinder head cover off. That's pretty straightforward and simple. It houses the rocker arms. You can take them all out. You take out these Allen heads there and there. And then the shaft that the rocker arm rides on slides out, and the spring and the rocker arm fall out and all that good stuff. But I'm not taking any of that stuff apart. I don't see any need to. This bike, like I said, ran really good. Everything looks good under here. There's really no need to take all that crap apart. Right here, I believe I'm going to be replacing those seals. Those 4 right there. Because they seal off these head bolts down inside of there, and I got all those seals in my kit, so I'm going to be popping them in there. But there's the cylinder head and the cam, and there's the cam gear. Oh yes. Now we look in our instruction manual. Let me go to the next step. This goes into the cylinder head cover disassembly. We're not going to be doing any of that good stuff. This is what we're looking for here. Let me see. Go to the next one. Yeah, see, they even give you specs in here for rocker arm bore inner diameter measurement, rocker arm shaft outer diameter measurement, and all that stuff. They want you to use snap gauges and all that good stuff, to micrometers to measure that. I'm not here to make this thing back to 100% factory specs, blah 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 blah. I'm not rebuilding the cocksucker. It ran great. So move on forward. We don't got to get that technical. We got camshaft removal. Remove the pulsar generator cover and remove one cam sprocket bolt. Turn the crankshaft clockwise and remove the other cam sprocket bolt. Do not allow bolts to fall into the crankcase. No shit. Remove the camshaft. Suspend the cam chain with a piece of wire to keep it from falling into the engine. Remove the cam sprocket. And then cam bearing surface inspection. Duh. But anyway, so let's get this camshaft out of this fucking head, eh? So what we're going to be doing is removing the pulsar generator cover, which is this cover right here. We got some more 8mm. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. We're going to be removing that, so I'm sure we can access a nut to turn the crankshaft. And we're going to be removing that bolt right there. And then we're going to turn this 180 degrees, and we're going to take out the second bolt. And then this cam should come out. This gear will be able to wobble around. You can work the chain off of the gear, and then I'm going to wire or bungee strap this chain up to the frame for right now, because you don't want that to fall back in, because I guess it's a cocksucker to put back on. Yada yada blah blah. So let's get that the fuck out of here. Okay guys, I got the cylinder head removed now and all that good stuff. Right here's the oil galleys I was telling you about. There's one right there, and there's one right there. You can kind of tell by looking at it, the O-rings are just smashed. If the camera would focus. But they're kind of just smashed. They're not nice O-rings anymore. Both sides. I like that. It's just a mushed flat O-ring. So we'll be replacing them. I took out, somebody tried fucking with this before. Where did I put them? Somebody was messing with it before, and they tried smashing, this looks like JB Weld. They tried smashing JB Weld up in there. I yanked some RTV, you can see this blue stuff here. Somebody was trying to mush some stuff in between the fins of the cooling fins of the cylinder head. But yeah, we got it apart now guys. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna get me some lunch. And get this thing back together. Okay guys, I got the cylinder head back on and torqued down with the new gasket and the 2 O-rings. I didn't videotape me cleaning the gasket surfaces and whatnot. If you're willing to take on a job like this, it's a little bit of common sense that you want your gasket surfaces clean. So I didn't really go into great detail on cleaning gasket surfaces. I wanted to get it done, you know what I mean? So make sure your gasket surfaces are nice and shiny and fucking clean. Don't use any Dremel tools or fucking angle grinders or anything like that, because you're just gonna fuck up the gasket surface. Only use a razor blade, only use a Scotch-Brite, only use a rag with some brake clean on the son of a bitch. As per factory recommendations, 17 to 22 foot-pounds, and you're supposed to do it in like 2 to 3 steps. So I did it once at 17 and once at 22. I'm going to wait a little bit here, and then I'll go over and make sure all the torques are still good. I'm just using a clicker style torque wrench, nothing fancy schmancy. This one's a 3/8 inch inch pounds instead of foot pounds, because some of the torque specs on this bike are too low for a regular old clicker style fucking wrench. This one's a Harbor Freight beauty, but it gets the job done. So I got the cylinder head back on and snugged down with the new gasket sandwiched in there. Some air. I don't even know if you guys could see it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, right there somewhere. There's the new gasket. Oh yeah. So yeah, let's move on. After you make sure everything's torqued down, ready to go. You want to install these rubber seals that go over the head bolts. They seal out air from coming in, so make sure those are on. And we'll flip the page here in our tech sheet. Lubricate the camshaft bearings with molybdenum disulfide grease. We're going to use assembly lube. And then we got to go through all this bullshit. Turn the crankshaft clockwise until the 1.4 T mark aligns with the index mark. There's a picture of that right there. And then place the chain over the cam sprocket and install the camshaft. There's that there. And then align the center of the index mark on the camshaft right end with the cylinder head surface. Align the camshaft sprocket bolts with the camshaft holes. Install the sprocket bolts and tighten to the specified torque, 10 to 13 foot-pounds. Right there's the index mark. Oh yeah, let's get her done. Okay guys, so I got the cylinder head cover installed. I got the rocker covers installed. I got the exhaust installed. That was kind of a pain in the dick, but it's on there. All mounted up. Next, we got to install spark plugs, spark plug wires, tachometer cable, the breather tube, and the carburetors, and the pulse generator cover, and the chain tensioner. Now, I have to set the cam tensioner. I have to set the cam tensioner first. that pulled up here on my laptop. Right there, cam chain tension, and that goes through the steps there. I gotta do that, and then we'll have it back together, and maybe I'll be able to show you guys here. Fire it up! Okay guys, so I had that bike all together, and actually I took it for a ride. Took it for about a 20-mile ride. I forgot to bring out the camera for the first start. I was just so anxious, you know what I mean? But look, no leaky. It's all nice and clean now. No more leak. It was leaking right there. No more leak. No more oil down there. No more oil up my pant leg. No more oil all down the cover or nothing. Hell yeah, she run good. But no more oil leak. Fire her up. Oh. So I like that kind. We got that all wrapped up and done. Now I just gotta clean the shit out of the goddamn garage, cause it is a mess. I got tools on the floor. It's not that bad. I guess it could be worse. But I gotta pick up this mess here of junk. And oh yeah. No more oil leak. I like that kind. I'll talk to you guys later.